How's it going, folks? Stephen Redmond, Dublin North West representative of the National Party. Folks, I just want to pop on and talk about the implementation of the F-spine. We're all too well aware as bus users in Finglas and Beneavin that the implementation of the F-spine has been an absolute disaster. As this is a YouTube exclusive for now, I'm asking you all, and I don't like doing it, but can you please hit the like button and the subscribe button, because the reason why you are seeing this video is because you got this leaflet in your door and you are kind enough to scan the QR code. I'd appreciate, again, as I say, I'd appreciate if you click like and subscribe. Anyway, again, as I was saying, on the 19th of October, the National Transport Authority, in their infinite wisdom, instead of giving us a functioning F-spine, they gave us more or less an FU. This was all avoidable, unfortunately. Back in April, in early April, I contacted the National Transport Authority and I raised the issue surrounding Route 9, Route 83, those being scrapped. I raised the issue of the 23 and the 24, which they have subsequently been replaced with. I highlighted the fact that the 24 would no longer serve Beneavin Road, Beneavin Avenue, Ballymun Road. More importantly, well, I will say in this, because it is quite important, Scoil Caithríona on St. Moby Road, because I had reached out to the principal of Scoil Caithríona and they were kind enough to do a survey of all the students in the school, and they got back to me and they provided me with a number of children who used route number 9 on a daily basis to get to and from school. That was 187 students of that school. I provided the National Transport Authority with that figure, asked them to continue for Route 24 to service Beneavin Road, Beneavin Avenue, Ballymun Road and St. Moby Road. They didn't. I offered numerous solutions on workarounds, such as maybe diverting via Griffith Avenue back up onto the Ballymun Road and down again. But anyways, it fell on deaf ears. In July, I again contacted Bus Connects, the National Transport Authority, as I became aware that the disaster what we now have in Finglas West and Finglas South with the F3 not following the traditional route of the 40. We now, as we all know, we have to change buses on Mellows Road. It's simply not good enough. It's absolutely disgraceful. Like, as we've seen all weekend, it's been lashing rain, and to get from the Barry down to Duns to do your bit of shopping, you're getting 2 buses in the lashings of rain. It's just not feasible. It's not possible. We need the link restored. Again, I contacted them back in July and I made them specifically aware that we needed that vital link. In August, myself and other members of the National Party, we conducted a survey of bus users. We asked 308 people over the course of a couple of days in early August their opinion on Route 40 being split into the 2 routes, the F2 and the F3. 308 of those people we asked, not one person could we find that thought that it was a good idea to split the route in half. We then went to Caithríona Road Shopping Centre, Little Duns. We asked every single business in Little Duns what they thought of, again, the National Transport Authority splitting the route. Every single business signed a survey saying that they did not want the route to change, that they relied on the Route 40 to bring customers from Finglas West down to Finglas South. Again, in August, we supplied that information of those 2 surveys to the National Transport Authority. Again, it fell on deaf ears. Oh, in October, again I wrote to the Minister for Transport, Darragh O'Brien, and I asked him, as in his capacity as Minister for Transport, I asked him to intervene in this and put a pause on the implementation of the rollout of Phase 7 of Bus Connects. I was fortunate enough to receive a reply from one of the secretaries, and as of yet I still haven't received an actual response from the Minister himself. And I do note now that Paul McAuliffe has brought it up in the Dáil a little bit late, but better late than never. This could have been done long ago. The TDs were our elected TDs were sleeping at the wheel. This should have never have happened. Then again in October I contacted all the local media and the national media, alerting them to the problems. Again, wouldn't hold my breath. Eventually the kind of drip fed out about the implementation of Bus Connects. It's now November. It's 4.5 weeks since this rollout, and it's been absolutely disgraceful. We all know what it's like getting in and out of the city centre, if we're waiting on an N4 to bring us down to Colester, whatever it may be, buses aren't turning up. It's absolutely dreadful. And anyways, I am in the process of once again writing to the National Transport Authority, and I'm offering them a number of solutions to alleviate the issues that we are all facing. The first being to reroute the F3 and have it align with what we had already, the Route 40. Serves Finglas South and Finglas West, and also increase the frequency of it. Bring it to a 10-minute service once again, like we've always had. We needed, the route was functioning perfect. There was no need to divide it up. The F2 is a welcome development. It's great if you're up in Finglas West to get into the city centre if that's where you're going. I also made the point that the NTA should they change the F3 to the traditional Route 40, that they instead make that the 24-hour service route, because that way it'll serve all of Finglas West and South. Then Route 23 and the 24, they need to serve the north side of the city centre, be it either O'Connell Street or Bachelor's Walk, like the way the 83 used to serve the area. It's no good the bus heading up by Christchurch and in the back way up to Merrion Square. It's just, it's silly. It's silly. We need a link to the north side of the city centre from down at Finglas East. I also asked them to increase the frequency of both the 23 and the 24. And I also proposed that they make an amendment to Route 24. As Route 24 comes down Willow Park Avenue, it comes down to the roundabout there at Glasnevin Avenue, I have suggested that the NTA have the bus, the 24, go right along Glasnevin Avenue and then left into Beneavin, straight down Beneavin Road, left again up Ballygall Road east, and then right again back out along Glasnevin Avenue, straight down to the Ballymun Road and right, and straight down St Moby Road and into the city centre that way. This is what's needed. The frequency of the routes need to be looked at. We need more frequent buses. We also need, for drivers have a pain in the face of their buses constantly running late. I've engaged with many drivers over the course of this whole campaign, and they've informed me plainly that they simply do not have enough running time. They leave Blanchardstown Shopping Centre on the N4. They cannot physically make their time down in the Point Depot. They simply do not have enough time. The N4 needs to revert back to the original 10-minute service that it once was, and the drivers on the route, they also need sufficient running time. All of these issues all of these solutions now I'm after outlining here, I am presenting these to the NTA, because this is the only way we can restore a functioning bus service for us in Finglas and Glasnevin. Folks, as always, in the National Party we are proactive, we are not reactive. We see TDs and councillors only coming out of the woodwork now when the problem is after getting so bad that they are forced into action. Again, we have been proactive throughout all of this, opening the door for talks with the National Transport Authority back in April. It fell on deaf ears, but however, we're here, we're pushing it, and this is what needs to be done. Thanks for your time, folks. Let's really and truly hope that the National Transport Authority see the error of their ways and correct it.